Yeah, my dad's always talked about it this way, is you're going to have to sacrifice something, right? Especially if what you want is down this line, right? You're either going to have to sacrifice family time to put in that hours to build that business, right? Or you're going to have to sacrifice top line if you want to spend time with the family.
Control of the process to delegate to somebody else.
Correct. So like you can't rob, and I'll use this phrase again, rob Peter to pay Paul. So debt, right? We all think about debt. Debt is this imaginary thing that does exist, right? So it's what you're doing, and my dad's always said it this way, is you are buying something today,
Pay
right?
for the future.
And at the, I guess, sacrifice of what you want most, right? So when you put something on payments, most of the time, there is this big, long dream further and further down, right? And if I buy this today, it's going to either slow down the process to get to X on the access, or I'm going to delay that gratification to a later date. In today's like instant gratification culture, hustle culture, big car, big house, fast car, culture that we're in.
Sweet van.
Sweet minivan. That was a have to have. You get stuck pulling away from where you want to be for things that you want today.
Yeah.
So like that wants and needs calculator makes things so hard. So one of the things that we use in our office is our master dream list. Now I know I've given them to you in the past. Darren, I'll send you one when we're done. Anybody who reaches out, shoot me a DM, email, whatever works best, and I'll shoot you a copy of this. It is truly the easiest doc in the world, but my dad's used this since 1982. Simple doc. All it says, it's got lines, right? So it says, I want to be, I want to learn, I want to do, I want to go, I want to achieve, right? So it's 5 lines. And then on the other side, it's going to put like a date of achievement that you want. So I remember, and we keep them in our office, and I make all my teammates do it. I give it to every young couple, right? And then so you write down all these things. So one of the things I've been really doing lately is when I meet with, especially entrepreneurs, and like I try to meet with their spouse because I want the feedback loop of everybody knowing what the other person's doing, right? When you're married, it's really easy to get lost in what the other person wants because there's little people that need things that you can't control. So I have both people fill out theirs, right? I want to own. Someone's going to put a house. Somebody's going to put a car. Somebody's going to put, right? Somebody's going to put a business, right? And then, so then we're going to put these things. I want to go, I want to do, right? And all these dates of achievement. And then they're going to do them completely independently, different rooms, all that sort of stuff. And then they're going to get together and they're going to read their list to each other and make one single list. And then as a husband and wife, as you make your one single list, and this has happened to me, as you make your one single list, now that is your, your burden of proof that should somebody say, let's do this, we go back to the paper and say, is this going to delay the goal? Is this going to delay the dream? Is this something that you want versus we said we want together and that we're putting at the top of our list? So last year we went swimming, and we don't go swimming very often, but like I came back, I was like, we should get a pool. Casey goes, can we afford a pool? I was like, I'll make some calls. So I get a price on a pool in ground, exactly the way she would want it. It's very expensive. Can't afford it, even the slightest. But like in my head, I was like, I could scrounge up the cash. There's a way. I can make this work.
I can make the money.
So then my wife looked at me and then she goes, what's our list say? And I was like, well, it doesn't say pool. She goes, well, then I don't think that it makes sense. Because we needed to buy the minivan, because we were having a 4th baby. We didn't have a choice. That was something that was on our list for that year that we had to do. So reallocated capital, listened to my wife, him hawed, then my barn burnt down as a sign from God not to buy the pool. Firework incident, that's time.
Another episode.
Yeah, I'll get to that one. But we just got a greenhouse in its place. So I will say this, like having that spouse and having those long-term goals that you are working on together, even if you're not a budgeter, right? And you don't do the household budget, you can fast math it through your head, but at the end of the month, maybe it doesn't always add up. Sure. Like a budget doesn't always actually realize to the exact dollars that you may put on a Google Doc. But as long as the goals remain constant, then as a couple or as partners, you can stay persistent. And I think having that counterbalance, it takes away the accusation of which I'm sure any man who's ever been married, who's told his wife to spend less money on the credit card gets this, is that it is a lot easier to make it less about you and more about us and where we're going, futurize it.
Which is a practice I've found in every aspect of my business. I try to point towards documents, not people in all cases. You know, we have a project we're working on. What's the creative strategy? Well, if we said it in a meeting, but it's not in a document, now we're arguing about who's right or who's wrong instead of what's the doc say.
Yeah, it took me 7 years of marriage to figure that part out. And I'm still figuring it out.
Well, it was a challenge to treat home life the same as business life is not going to go the way.
It's hard not to take it home.
Yeah.
But those like little small pieces, and then that allows you guys to look at, you know, time differently, right? Because now it's the delayed gratification, it's the compounding of time, it's the wealth of, and I'm even to the point now where when I fill these out, they're all like spiritual, like nothing, like I want to learn is like grace. You know what I mean? I want to be a good dad. Like at the beginning, I said, I want to be the best. You know what I mean? Like I put 1 year, I want to own truck. Just boy stuff, truck.
Does lease count?
Yes, yes, it counts in my head. And I think the perspective shift, especially in this next generation, the generation we're in now between millennials, Gen Z, Gen X, we're watching our grandparents die with all the things in the world. I don't know if, and I'm sure everyone's dealt with this, where they've had to clean out a home of somebody that they loved and then wondered why there was so much crap in it. Mm-hmm. Some of it's sentimental. Some of it is in this room behind us right now. But at the end of the day, those treasures were coming from their depression level, like upbringings of like things are the most important, where I think we're shifting towards memories, photos. Yes. Things that you can pass on, like those oral stories, everything else. So where like stuff is stuff. I'm trying to teach my kids how to garden, or my wife is. I'm trying to raise 39 chickens. I'm trying to just grow good little human beings. And
well, I think that's something you hit on that's important is you have to establish a goal, but then you have to readdress that goal, right? Because you're going to change year to year. So you're doing that goal setting every year. It's not, you did it 10 years ago. The minivan was never on the goal sheet 10 years ago, so you can't buy a minivan now. No, fast forward, you reassess your goals, and now that's the goal for this year. So that's why when we said earlier about the 5-year plan, like, yes, I'd love to achieve that, but like something may drastically change in the next 6 months where I'm okay with 60% of that goal, and that's pretty fine.
Yeah.
So we have to have a process of reevaluating our goals as well.
My dad's always said, and this is an interesting way to look at it, is your goals are in ink, right? Plans are in pencil, goals are in ink. And the reason that is because plans change. Goals remain the same. Like you may just shift where they're at, and then you may shift the timeline, right? For those big things that are truly important to you. The plans to get there, like the step-by-step, that's life, right? And I think we talked about it in the first episode is, you know, control is an illusion.
Sure.
You got to roll with the punches, baby. You got to get punched in the nose and stand back up and just, you know, pivot to where you really want to be.